Good evening, you beautiful people. Welcome back to another video. Hands up in the chat if you thought I was going to miss a video today. I said I wouldn't do it. I just had a busy day today, but I am here live, I think, for the 7th day in a row now, doing this daily news show. I'm keeping it up. I'm keeping my end of the bargain, so please do keep your end of the bargain too. If you're enjoying these videos, do me a massive favor and follow that ticker at the bottom and do all those things. Hit the bell for new video notifications. Follow me on social media. Give the video a like and get involved in the live chat. Get involved in the comments after the live video, of course, if you want to. Oh, that was did a bit of dancing for you. And in general, just come on down and enjoy these daily videos. If you are enjoying it, please, once again, consider supporting the channel, blah, blah, any way possible. It is massively appreciated. I hope you're enjoying the new setup as well. All the usual stuff. A little bit later today, I was putting up blinds in my son's room because it's like dead bright at night time. He's not sleeping very well, and I had loads on today. But we're here. Hello to Pete. Hello to my man Scott as well. Bruno Fernandez is in the chat allegedly. Thought you'd be busy, mate. Matt's here as well. And Hayden, Brooks, all you legends. Give the video a like if you're watching live. It is most appreciated. We've got loads to talk about today, including Michael Olise, Dani Olmo, Erling Haaland, Pep Guardiola, Delap, Diogo Costa, and loads more. Maybe Mateus Nunes as well, Bernardo Silva, loads of rumours, and also some good reports, because this is your daily Manchester City news show. So give the show some love, give the show some support. Hello to Strudels Lol, and Leon Sale as well in the chat. You absolute legends, a lot of you. So. Should we go for the first news story of the day? Let's go for the first news story of the day. I'll jump over here to an article. Let me find the article first. This is from The Telegraph. From Matt Law in The Telegraph. Firstly, I go to David Ornstein. David Ornstein over The Athletic. I think it's disappeared now. There we go. Sorry, there we go. Here we go. So David Olsen over at The Athletic. It's mainly about Chelsea, this article. Apparently Chelsea making contact with Palace regarding Olise, but Bayern, Newcastle, City and United have also retained a strong interest in the playmaker, who has a release clause to believe to be in the region of around 60 million. Very similar to the release clause, allegedly, of Eberechi Eze as well, the other superstar over at Crystal Palace. They've got some team in them right now, man. They can keep this team together. They won't be able to. Plot spoiler, which is a shame. But if they could, who knows what they could do under Glasner. They were a hell of a team. But this is a rumour, and it's also been backed up by Matt Law over at The Telegraph. I'll jump over to The Telegraph. Matt Law has said Chelsea are confident they will not have to pay more for Michael Olise, the Champions League club, after making contact with Crystal Palace over the winger. Olise has been subject to approaches from Newcastle and Bayern, while both United and City thought to keep an eye on the situation. Look, it's very obvious immediately that this is all based around Chelsea, with City's name, United's name thrown into the hat as well. I do believe he's on a list of sorts. I do actually believe that's true. But do I think this is likely? I'm going to sort of be a party pooper here. I know Buzz Killington over here in a Patagonia fleece. I don't think this is going to happen. I think it's interesting. I do think he's on a list of sorts. I think Manchester City do have lists for every position. They have options. If they need a striker, they'll have 5 names, then the A list, then 5 names on the B list. Did I get that right, Anime? I really thought I got it wrong. I got the Eze's name correct, so I'm not even going to try and pronounce it again because I nailed it there. But yeah, when you look at the list of players, they have lists in every position. I do believe Michael Olise is absolutely on that list. But yeah, I believe it's true. But as, Joel's pointed out in the chat, we've got Oscar Bob. We've got, what did I say? Was it Eberechi? Eberechi? I've missed it now. Sorry, Anime's impressing the chat. If you're watching back, Anime in the chat was applauding my Nigerian pronunciation. Anyway, yeah, but I do believe when you look at the list of players I've got Doku who can play. Go out when I'm on top of Zach Hayden. Yeah, we've got Doku who can play either wing. We've got Savio allegedly coming in. I think that's going to happen. Fingers crossed it'll happen. We've got Bernardo. He's probably going to stay. We've got Foden who can play out there. Probably won't, but he can play out there. You got Oscar Bob. I just don't see Manchester City in the market for a right winger right now. I don't see it. I would like it. I think Olise is a special footballer. Injury prone, yes, but I mean, he's got so much talent. I really like him. I just don't see this. I I do like him, though. I think he's a really clever footballer. Of course, he'd have to learn a little bit the Manchester City style, but talent is talent, and I can't deny that Olise is a really, really smart footballer. And I'll take him in a heartbeat. But I'm gonna sort of nip this one in the bud. I don't feel it's something that we should get too carried away by. Unfortunately, please do let me know if you agree or disagree in the live chat. But he is on the list. I think he is on the list. But just because he's on the list doesn't mean we're going to hit that trigger, and complete the deal. I just think we've got Oscar Bob. I think we've got Savio potentially coming in. Jeremy Doku, Foden, Bernardo. For me, Oscar Bob is like just as... Look, obviously Olise is ahead of Oscar Bob. I think that's a fair thing to say. Olise is Premier League, established, blah, 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 etc. Played more games. But I don't think he's more talented than Oscar Bob. I think Oscar Bob, if you'd, 3 or 4 years from now with a development, could be seen as, a world-class player, potentially. I really believe that, And Pete's right. Pete in the chat said, doesn't Oscar Bob have to make that jump this season? Yeah, he does. He does have to make that jump. But I do think he's capable. I think a lot of this last season was about him establishing himself as an option, having moments of quality to show Pep Guardiola and any potential managers that follow Pep that he could be the man. And what really impressed me is that he stepped up, arguably, for the goal of the season. I think the most important goal in Manchester City season was that beautiful Kevin De Bruyne pass to Oscar Bob, who finished like a world-class striker. He did. It was a beautiful finish, excellent technique, and that was a big moment from a big player. It showed the mental fortitude that Oscar Bob's made of. Now, Olise is also a very technical footballer, a special footballer, but I don't see how Manchester City will be willing to splash 60 million on a position that they've sort of got covered, especially if Savio comes in. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that one. Let's go to the rumours about Dani Olmo again. Olmo allegedly, according to some reports, let me find it, over on Sport Witness. The aggregators have picked this up. Sport Witness have said the links between City and Dani Olmo seem to be getting more strength in the rumour mill. The latest update on this chase comes from Sport Zone. Okay, so Sport Witness are aggregating Sport Zone. The outlet claims that City are joined by Bayern and PSG in the list of clubs who are keeping tabs on Olmo. He said those clubs made initial inquiries about the possibility of signing him. The price seems to be around 60 million euros, which he seems to be release clause. 25 appearances last season, but 8 goals and 5 assists. I think Olmo's a good player. I like him. I think he's a very smart player. The kind that most of us would go, I don't know if he's that good, blah, 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 etc. But then under Guardiola, he'd become an elite player because Guardiola has this ability to do that. He's way more technical than some of the ones that have failed at Manchester City. Like, you look at midfielders like Calvin Phillips. You can even argue Nunes to an extent. We'll get onto that in a bit. It's divisive, I know. But I think Olmo's a good player. Once again, I think he's on a list. Do I think City are going to activate that transfer? I don't think so. I think he's less than likely. 30% chance at most. I am not quite as negative about Olmo as most people are. I think he's a smart footballer who needs a great manager to sort of move him on to the next step. I know people, for example, Joel just mentioned Wirtz in the chat. Florian Wirtz would rather something like a Musiala or a Wirtz or someone younger. Yeah, a more exciting name. And I would also agree with Hayden. He says he'd rather see Bruno come in than Olmo. I absolutely agree. But I don't think Olmo's a bad player. You can disagree with me on that, but I'm sort of relaxed about very good players, joining to become great players under Guardiola. But then what I would say, fairly, is that window of opportunity to make that leap is getting smaller and smaller because, of course, Pep, it's likely that he's going to leave in a year. I feel more and more accepting of that scenario. You'd have to believe me there. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. I feel it's reasonably likely to happen at this stage. So you could argue that, if you're not going to get 2-3 years to improve these players to that level, you need someone who can do it right now. Someone who's much younger, much more special, like a Musiala or a Wirtz. But I don't see either of them coming to Manchester City either. I don't. I see Musiala staying there, and I see Wirtz following Alonso to Real Madrid or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong, but does anyone else feel that way? I just don't see City signing them. I think we'll sign someone that we don't know yet. We'll probably sign someone like, I know he's not the same player, I can Adam Wharton, and everyone will go, oh, he's not a creative player, blah, blah, blah. But the midfield will look great because it'll be him alongside Rodri and Foden, and everyone will go, well, we should have signed him, but then we'll go, oh yeah, they were right, he's brilliant. That's what I feel like happened. Feels more Man City that way. Let's talk about the next story on today's list. Don't forget, of course, please let me know what you think in the chat. There's rumours going around about a potential new goalkeeper. If you don't know much about him, it's fair enough. I'm not going to sit here and ever lie to you guys about what a player can do if I don't know. I know the name Diogo Costa. I know who he is. I know he's Porto's goalkeeper. I know he's meant to be really good. I couldn't tell you how good he is. There was rumours going around the internet yesterday that City and Arsenal are paying attention to Diogo Costa, who's got a £63 million release clause. Look, I think it's fair to say that if Ederson goes, City will go for a goalkeeper. We saw that German keeper linked a few days ago. Costa apparently linked right now, and look, City have got a decent record of signing straight from Portugal. We've done pretty well from over there, we're being honest. So I don't think this is a signing that we can fully rule out, but I think it's a lot of it is down to Ederson. You know, by all accounts, he's a very good player. You know, Ederson, his future, I think he's going to stay Ederson. I think he'll probably get a new contract. But I do think that interest from the Saudi League is probably real. Ederson would be a hell of a coup for them. Just excuse me, it's 10:15 over here and I've had a long day. I've been up since, what time did you get up this morning? Well, Ruben woke up at 5:30 today, so I'm tired. But yeah, I do think there is something in this. I think once again, he's on a list. I think City are watching him amongst many keepers. I don't see it happening. It's a lot. Man City don't strike me as the kind of team to spend 60-odd million on a goalkeeper. And I know people will go, just hang on. City won't spend a lot of money on a player. Yes, I know City spend a lot of money on players, but I don't see it on a goalkeeper. It's just Ederson was about 35 million. I don't see us going much more than that. Maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe I'm wrong. And if they did, it'd have to be truly special. You'd have to let me know in the chat if you think Diogo Costa is truly special. For me, I am on the fence whether this would happen. Next story. There's a little tidbit of information there. I saw that and I found that interesting. A guy called Lee Ryder. Who's Lee Ryder? Lee Ryder is, let's break him down, Chronicle Chiefs Newcastle United writer. He follows Newcastle home and away. Good on you, mate. Oh, you're having a good time, Lee. Lee Ryder has reportedly said that anyone who wants to activate the release clause of £100 million for Bruno Guimaraes where's it gone? Until, what day was it? Monday the 24th of June, which is interesting. I wonder what that's about. That's 11 days away anyway, just under 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't think City are going to activate it. I saw someone make a very good point on Twitter. Stefan Borson, the finance expert, said it'd be very strange in a purely optics perspective for Manchester City to activate a release clause of 100 million when they're in the middle of suing the Premier League for restricting alleged finance opportunities and all that kind of stuff. It'd be a good point. They'd be like, well, you're clearly not a struggling lads. You just broke 100. Not that it'd affect the case as such, but aesthetically, optics-wise, you'd feel like you'd be the kind of thing you'd do right at the end after the case is over. But if the clause is only until the 24th, that clause probably overlaps with that case that they currently got going on, suing the Premier League. So you'd have to see how it goes there. But once again, this is another one. It's an interesting bit of information. Bruno G, he's probably my number one choice. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty relaxed about midfielders in general, but I really like Bruno Guimaraes. I think he's a really smart footballer. I think he's got a lot of ability. He reminds me a little bit of Gundogan. Newcastle fans absolutely adore him. They think he's his best player. I kind of like it. I think it happens. And I know people are quite divided on this, but yeah. There was also some rumours some quotes going around from Erling Haaland's agent, Rafaela Pimenta. So he's been at Man City for 2 years now and there's never been any gossip about him. His profile represents a huge value in the eyes of sponsors and the clubs, as well as terms of shirts and sales. And all that put together, ticket sales, TV rights, etc. I reckon he'll earn over $1 billion in his career. One thing is certain today. Erling feels at home at Manchester City. He's 1,000% committed to the City project and is already looking forward to a new season with the club. I love those quotes, by the way. Look, she's obviously a chatter of an agent like oh my god, so sorry, I've totally forgotten his agent's name. His previous agent, he passed away, didn't he? Rest in peace. Who was his agent? I've forgotten who. You guys will be able to tell me in the chat. But yeah, he was a talker as well. What was his name? The agent. That was it, Mino. Yeah, Mino Raiola. There we go. Thank you so much to AMA and Daniel. Mino Raiola was a bit of a talker as well. Pimenta is to come from a very similar cloth, it seems. But look, if she's going to come out and say stuff like that, really positive, yeah. And she's right, by the way. His value is ridiculous. We all know that. He's not going anywhere. I think he's going for a longer time than you realise, given everything, you know. There was some more quotes I found interesting today as well. Where was it going? I saw some other quotes. No, I saw this. This is what I saw. This. That Declan Rice quote was really interesting about Phil Foden being the best in training. Declan Rice said, "Oh, have you seen Phil in training? He's that good, so special." He is. He is special. He's a phenomenal footballer. These are interesting. There you go. You've got the dream team there. You've got Cheeky Brigenstein. You've got Khaldoon. You've got Sheikh Mansour, Pep Guardiola, and Ferran Soriano. Over meeting the big man Mansour and Khaldoon, of course, chatting the future with the 4 Premier League trophies in a row there. During a meeting, apparently, Sheikh Mansour expressed appreciation to support him to the blood, but this is all just platitudes. There's nothing really of interest there. But as you can see there he is meeting the boss. This is interesting, of course, for a reason, because obviously they've done that a billion times now. But it's interesting because they're currently discussing their future, aren't they? You know, and where it'll lead to. So that is the meeting, the big meeting about his potential future and where it'll go. I mean, they look happy. I mean, he could be telling him about his plans to sort of move on there. I don't know. But we will see. We will see on how that goes. But I do feel we will see him giving what he wants to. If it's going to be his last season, give him what he wants. Oliver, I hope you're right, mate. Oliver says 5-year extension coming. Mate, I absolutely hope you're right. It would be nice. Oliver, by the way, I presume this is the Oliver Lowe from City Extra. If you don't watch City Extra's City content creator kind of, is it not 5-a-side, 7-a-side? I don't know what it was. Some sort of like 5, 6, 7-a-side football show. Go watch it. I was invited down, but unfortunately, I was the life of a 38-year-old man with a kid. I was looking after Ruben, so I couldn't go and play 5-a-side football. But next time, I'll absolutely try and get there, Oliver. Go watch that video. It's good fun. I've only watched a couple of minutes of it as I came out as I was putting Ruben to bed. But yeah, go watch it. There's loads of your favourite City content creators over there. After this, of course. But yeah, 5-year extension would be nice. I don't see it, but you might be persuaded just to do 10 years. Wouldn't be surprised if the Sheikh was like, you know what, go on, Pep, do 10 years, and who knows, there might be something special at the end of it for you, you know? Big old signing up bonus, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a stand named after Guardiola. Maybe that statue is like 30 foot tall, 40 foot tall, made of solid gold, and it's just Pep with all his trophies side by side. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to tempt it in whatever way they can, you know? There's also a bit of rumours about Liam Delap going around. Liam Delap, apparently, according to journalist Alan Nixon. Now, I know Alan Nixon is very reliable about youth players. He's got good contacts. He could move on. He's almost certainly going to move on. He had a good loan at Hull City. Liam Delap's career sort of went like that, and then like that, and that, and let's come back up a little bit. Look, I really like Liam Delap. I think he's a cracking player. I think he's got an awful lot of ability. I think he just needs a breakthrough season. And I think for him, permanence and a sense of place and location and home would be the best thing for him. And what I mean by that is he's currently got his contract to City. He's probably got a couple of years left, maybe. He's got an awful, a lot of kind of sort of like comfortability behind him. He's very settled, basically, at City on a good wage. But he needs to move on. He needs to move on and just get a permanent role somewhere, go and play for a team and prove himself. Essentially, he needs to fail a little bit to get going again. He's still a natural goal scorer. I maintain that. I would not be surprised if he's 21, 22 now. Is he older than that? I don't even know. Younger than that? He's 21. Okay, so he's a baby. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a decent season where he scores 15 goals for a Hull, but all of a sudden, then he has a season where he scores 27. And that confidence he had as he's a young player just comes through. And all of a sudden, you've got a 30-goal season striker in the Championship. He comes up at 24, 25 in the Premier League, and he gets 17 goals for a mid-table team, and before you know it, he's talked about in the way that Ivan Toney is, or currently Solanke or someone like that, or eventually he's 27 years old and he's just playing for a good team who's challenging the Champions League all the time. I can see that potentially with a little bit of luck, because I think he has the talent. I think he has the confidence. he could also just meander around the lower leagues. But I think he needs that break, that clean break. I think he's a really good player, but he needs it. And no, you haven't missed the Nunes talk yet. I'm going to go through the rumours. I'm going to go over to Tolmi. Tolmi's sort of the resident in the know over on Twitter. I know Tolmi, he's a top bloke. You would admit himself he hasn't got everything right. But there's a few interesting updates there. The one about Bernardo Silva was particularly pertinent for me. Bernardo Silva's apparently told college he doesn't expect to leave City. No clubs negotiating. Turned down Saudi last summer. I knew he'd turned down Saudi, by the way. It's all about lifestyle for him. It's not about money. It's all about lifestyle. Like, look, I personally wouldn't want to live in Saudi Arabia either. Not that there's anything wrong with Saudi Arabia. It's just my worldview and my approach to life just sort of clashes a little bit. I think that's fine. I also wouldn't want to live in searing heat. And I don't know. Yeah, you know what I mean by that. We all have different worldviews and so on. And, like, yeah. And I think that was just not for me. All due respect to anyone who wants to go there. Absolutely. I think Bernardo is probably very similar. I get the vibe that he is. You know, that Bernardo just seems like a certain type of person. That I think he wants to be close to home, close to family. So, and don't get offended by saying that. There's loads of countries I wouldn't want to live in just because I don't want to, because the lifestyle's different, you know. I'm a very Western boy. I can't help it, you know. I've got my very Western ways, and I'm a loud PDA exuberant person. I don't know how much I would fit in a country like that, you know. Like I don't know, and so I wouldn't want to. And that's just life. And I wouldn't be surprised if Bernardo Silva feels a similar way, or just doesn't fancy. He acknowledges that he's got a lot of money. He's doing all right, and he's just like, you know, I'll stay. But I think he's going to stay because I don't think anyone's going to come in for him. I think it's simple as that. Really interesting here. Apparently, Saudi club Al Nassr are prepared to give City back their money for Matheus Nunes this summer. City would take that in a heartbeat. The only thing is, of course, is whether he would actually want to go Matheus Nunes. I personally feel he might want to stay and try and prove himself. I just don't see him wanting to leave. By the way, Strudel's LOL said Delap would be excellent at Everton, you know. He would be. But I think he has to find his confidence first. Yeah, I agree with that. It's the kind of club I can imagine him coming up in and doing well. But yeah, Nunes, look, I think Nunes is a good player. I've made my position on Nunes very clear, and a lot of people disagree, but I don't mind. That's fine. My general feel of Nunes is that I think he's a very good player, but I don't think he's a very good Manchester City player, and I don't see him ever being Gundogan level or David Silva or Bernardo, Yaya, De Bruyne, Foden. I don't even see him being Kovacic. I think Kovacic is smarter. I think he's understanding the game a little bit better, and I think it's sort of inherently there. Nunes is 25. He'll be 26 at the start of the season. His birthday's in August. I don't think he's ever going to become an elite technician. I think he could get better, but I don't ever see him being a genius on the ball. He doesn't strike me as that. I think he's more physical. I've always said that Nunes reminds me of someone who would have been great in a prime Klopp team. I think he has. I think he has the physicality, the pace, the hard running to allow people around him on the wing, play whatever that Liverpool did, to be the special ones. And I think Nunes, I just don't think he is. And I think City know that. He didn't get much football last year. Obviously much better than Calvin Phillips and nowhere near as blacklisted as that. But he didn't get, you know, a lot of football. He felt like he was going to come on, only City were comfortable. For £50 million signing, it doesn't exactly fill your confidence. I think City would take it. It depends if he would. I think his pride might stop him going over there. But then his bank balance might go, okay. And the final bit I think to talk about is apparently Fulham. Fulham could take Calvin Phillips on loan. Look, whatever's going to happen, I feel like... I don't know. Whatever's going to happen, I feel like we're sort of... We're in purgatory or limbo, whatever, with Calvin Phillips. It's done at Manchester City. His confidence is absolutely shot. He doesn't feel like the player. A boy away from home, from Leeds, he's just struggled. It's over there. It's over there. But anyway, there's your little late night video, guys. Loads to talk about. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, we talked about Olmo. We talked about Olise, Diogo Costa, leave the lap, Pep, Haaland, Bernardo, Nunes, Calvin Phillips. I hope you all enjoyed it. Go and check out the video I did yesterday on the channel. Let me go and find it. Where I did a big old deep dive there. The one called Who Could Leave, where I went through every single player and did a rating out of 10 how likely they are to leave or stay. I can't remember which way I did it. Stay. Like, yeah, 10 out of 10 if they're going to definitely stay, 1 billion%, 0 if they're going to go. Give it a watch, man. And check out all these other videos as well. I've been doing this now. This is the 8th live video in a row. I've done 8 days in a row. I am going for it. give the video a like, subscribe, support the channel, you know. It's massively appreciated. Give the video a like, comment below. Consider supporting on membership Patreon if you want to. No worries if not. For now, in a bit, please. Bye-bye. You're all legends. Love you all loads. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.